man, um, I just wanted to tell you that I love you. You know I love you. I am so proud of you. You know, we came a long way. We did. And I knew you were something special. I knew it. And I just want to let you know that continue to be humble. Continue to strive for whatever it is that you want. And as I always tell you, nothing is impossible. Everything that you have is because God ordained it. And everything that you're going to be and will be is because it's written. You have reached so many boundaries. You have achieved more than what anyone would believe in your 19 years. There's many times that, we went through a lot and I didn't know what we were going to do. But being who you are, you would say, don't worry about it. It's okay, Mom. And despite it being the way that it was, you never went against it. You never turned your back on me. You never said, well, you're not working hard enough, Mom. Why are we living like this? You never did that. You just said, it's okay. And by it being okay, made me fight. Made me know that I gotta do something to make sure you okay. And I did. I worked for my core. I worked to make sure that we can always look back while looking ahead. I wasn't able to spoil you rotten, as most parents may want for their children. But I was able to let you know, speak with manners, be polite, treat people the way that you want to be treated. Say yes, say no thank you, and always stay humble. And out your 19 years, you are still humble. And God sees that. And everyone sees that. And that is something that I adore about you. It's hard to preach and teach something when we don't do it ourselves. And at times, it was hard for me to stay humble. But you were right there letting me know, Mom, is okay. I remember the time that I wasn't able to get you shoes. You were right about to go into middle school, and you had those, you had those Asics, or I'm not sure what they was, but I think they were Asics, the gray sneakers, and you wore them for so long. It had holes in the bottom of both shoes, and you taped them, and the top was torn, and somehow you mended it. And I didn't notice it until you were asleep one night, and I just happened to look at your shoes. And the next day I said, well, Chris, why didn't you tell me about your shoes? You have holes in them. And you said, Mom, it's okay. You said, you just you looking at me like, well, what's wrong with it? And you said, well, I didn't want to bother you. I didn't know, if you had the money. It's okay, Mom. And that day, I knew that you became that young man. Because everyone say you have to walk a mile in my shoes. And to know all that you seen as a young child, and all that you had to endure, you never once complained. You didn't complain about your shoes. But from that day forward, I made sure shoes would never be an issue. If you needed to walk wherever you had to go, shoes would never be an issue. And it's not so much about what's on your feet, but it's what I instilled in your heart. And because that have grown and you have never neglected that type of learning from me, you are loved by so many people. Just growing up, in North Philly, and we moved a lot from North Philly to Germantown to Mount Airy, back to North Philly. And even with that, it was just always a new adventure for you. Even living in Germantown, and, we had horses in our backyard, but it was so exciting for you. I sometimes would just stare at you and say you're supposed to be angry and upset, and you weren't. And having horses in your backyard was not all good because the smell, but you didn't complain. Not once. Living with Miss Mary, and even though you were so young, you really look forward to spending time with the family, and going on trips, and even living with Aunt Faye, where I found you a better school, and you were closer to the school where I was in between jobs. And you didn't complain. I would come and go out with you and spend time with you, and you was just always an upbeat kid. I know as time went on, weight does weigh on a man's shoulders, and that's when you get into your quiet moments. But not to be angry, but to think. And you know how to pray, because that's how we were raised. Your grandmom and great grandma, we all were praying people. And I know that has kept you, even venturing off the faith. That summer, it was hard. It was exciting for you, and it was hard because not knowing, how things were going to be, but you were all for it. You assured me, Mom, I'm gonna be all right. And such a young age, and to make that big leap, I believed that you were going to be all right. Just as Keon calling and letting me know, hey, it's a great opportunity, and every call I rejected. Every time he would voice something, I would just say no, it's not my son because he can't play ball. And at that time, I just couldn't see what everybody seen. I just didn't see it. And me being the mother that I am, I was more so protective, you guys aren't going to hurt my child, telling him that he can play basketball. This boy can't even shoot. He can't even dribble. And no, that wasn't the case at all. And even though I'm seeing you, and I'm like, but he's shooting with his wrong hand. Like he's dribbling, and I didn't know what I was talking about. I was so more on guard that I know how false promises can really damage a man, and that's what I was trying to protect you from, and that's what I was hesitant. You know, this false hope that you can play ball one day, but within a summer, you're dribbling, you're shooting, you're dunking. You got people screaming your name. It was just, it was amazing. And I knew you had that it that everyone was talking about. And getting a faith and seeing just the brotherhood that you have had and have with the school, with your teammates, you know, with the Bruners, with the Zimrons, you know, with the Costa, with Coach Green. The list goes on and on. Like, you formed relationships, family, that will never be broken. And that is so hard to do. To come from so far to just come in and say, hey, here I am. And I am so proud of you. I can't even begin to thank everyone for doing what they have done for you. And I can't express in this short time just telling you that, baby, I love you. And there's so much more to come. And you have a fight in you that I know you do, because I had that same fight to make sure you are doing what you should do. And I know you can do it. I know you have done it. And I know this journey is just the beginning. So keep pursuing. Don't give up. Just keep doing what you're doing. And as much love that you feel today, honestly, baby, you should feel this every day. Because you are no longer the only child. You are not just a child of God, but you are amongst family and friends that love you, that will call you their own. And that's all a parent could want. So I love you, and I wish you the best. I wish you success. I wish you everything in this world. But most of all, I wish that you remain the same. Don't change. Because who you are today, that's who you will be remembered for. Don't ever change, Chris. I love you, baby.